Hello and welcome back to Legends of the Dead. I'd like to start episodes in this early part of the series with a little bit of complexity adding. By that I'm meaning we're going to take what we were doing in the previous episode and we're just going to add a bit to it. And if we keep doing this, we're going to build up and build up and build up, and we'll have a lot of things that we've looked at without having to look at it all at once. So, what do I mean by this? Well, what I mean is, for instance, in this episode, we're going to have a look at our culture and we're going to see what advantages it gives us and what kind of things we're aiming towards later once we start to get control of it, which might be a little bit away, but is still interesting things to think about. But before we do that, I'd like to address a fantastic idea from the comments. So, if we go in here and we'll just take our save thing here. If we have somebody in our court we want to get rid of, we don't want to get rid of this guy, but let's say we did. Let's say that this guy's awful and we want to get rid of him. We could dismiss him as we did in the previous episode. However, as you'll see, this costs 75 prestige and it gives us a bunch of stress. There are other options. What we can do is we can go into Find Spouse and we could matrilineally marry him to somebody who isn't in our court, like Grima isn't in our court. So if we'd wanted to get rid of this guy, we could marry him off somewhere else, and he will simply leave our court. Not because we've dismissed him, but because he's gone. Now, it does involve a little bit more, like, micromanaging of marriages, but it's not really that much more than just dismissing. So we should definitely look to see if we have opportunities like this before dismissing people. At least in the early game. There is going to come a point, later game, where we can just dismiss people 100% no problem, because we're going to have more prestige than we know what to do with. But right now, I think we'll stick with this kind of thing. Talking of that, do we have anybody in our court that we want to get rid of? Also, this does, of course, only work if they aren't already married. I don't think we have anybody, right? We just have, you're the only random person without a job, but I think you're married. Yes, you're married to my son, so yeah, that's not going to work. Right. The other thing I'd like to do here is I'd like to just check for unmarried people. Wow, that is a lot of unmarried people at our court. We can drag in a lot of very good people potentially here. Let's see what our options are. So let's start with Asta and with Ulfhildr. Why are we starting with these two? Well, because it's very easy what we want out of these two. What we want is we want prowess. So, let's go in here and let's find them a spouse, matrilineal, that we can marry them off to get some prowess into our court. So we can get Skarphethen, or Skarphethen? Something like that. Anyway, we get Skarp into our court. He's got pretty good prowess. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't invite Skarp to our court. Let's, I don't know why I went to invite him. Let's do it like this. Matrilineal, he will accept. Fantastic. That's going to drag him into our court, and that is a fairly easy one for us to do. Next up, we're going to have a look at Ulfhildr. Can we do something similar here? We're just going to look for prowess. We're just going to try and drag people in. I'd rather not drag a lunatic into our court. I'd rather not drag a stupid person into our court. How about Gormar? Gormar actually has some pretty good stats. He's a level 5 education in Spy Mastery, which usually you'd have to go to university to get, which makes him very, very unusual at this point in the game. Wow. Okay, he's actually insane. I would love him in my court. I didn't even check if he would do matrilineal, but luckily he will. Fantastic. So that's going to drag him into our court. That is a great person. In fact, he could probably... yeah, there's many roles he could fulfill in our court. Okay, I'm happy about that. Right, and then I'm just going to leave everything be. Why? Well, because I'm still not entirely sure who our champions are, because we're just getting 2 people into our court who have more prowess, so we'll see who's left over and whether we've got anyone who's truly awful in our court that we might want to get rid of. Right, let's clear out those ones. And I said we were going to look at our culture to start today, so let's have a look at culture. And just purely to see what we can do and what we might want to do in the future. So, first of all, our cultural head is currently our liege. And he is our cultural head because he has the most Norse counties. He has 13. So, we have the number that we have to get to. If we can get to 13, we get control of the Norse culture. Fantastic, that's good to know. We have the Ting meat available to us. This will be useful once we're able to actually set succession laws, and I believe it's on a title basis. By that I'm meaning, I believe that the succession law is set on this kind of title screen rather than in here. I could be 100% wrong, but given that we don't have it here, I'd assume it's either that or we need to be a higher level to see it. But essentially, once we have it available, we will do it. Also, wait a second. Is the writing on that screen tiny? Yeah, wait, the writing on that screen is tiny and it cuts off. Something's not right here. Something's gone wrong. This really should continue down here. Like, if you're going to make the writing that tiny, at least, you know, show us all the writing. Weird. I think that's a bug. Anyway, over here, because it didn't used to be like that. It used to be larger and the full text. Weird. Right. Malleable invaders. Creating a hybrid culture requires 50% less cultural acceptance. Hybrid culture creation cost is down by 75%. Convert to local culture decision cost is also down. Okay. All Norse characters gain different faith popular opinion. Different faith popular opinion is down by 20%. That must be the negative you get is down by 20%. And then faith conversion cost is down. Okay, interesting. So this definitely implies to me that once we get control of the culture, we should immediately be going into other cultures that have things that we want and merging with them. So, it's an idea. Coastal Warriors gives us all these men-at-arms, which actually, once you already have them, they kind of get, I'm trying to think the right way of putting it, they get kind of grandfathered in. By that I'm meaning, like, once you switch culture, like, if you switch to a culture that no longer has this cultural tradition, they will still be your men-at-arms, as far as I'm aware. Like, you can't get more of them, and if you get rid of them, they're gone, but I don't believe that they'll disappear, because this is only stopping you recruiting them, right? This is only controlling the actual recruitment, not the having of them. So, it's something to think about at some point. Strong trait is more common. Awesome. Strong trait gives us prowess and is a medium health boost. The one thing I always used to get wrong is I always thought this was congenital. No, this is actually a trait that you get through events. I believe that's correct. So, yeah, that's good to see. So even if we don't have people with it, if they convert to our culture, then they will get it at some point, maybe. Tradeport line of buildings provide additional bonuses to stationed men-at-arms. Okay, tradeports are good. The tradeport line of buildings can be constructed in coastal tribe holdings, and sea danger and coastal sea danger is down. Currently, fantastically useful for us because if we go and travel to any event, we have to go over the sea. Given that, I mean, we're an island. It just kind of makes sense. Anyway, so that's that. Performative honor. Characters of this culture may become shield maidens if their faith's gender doctrines are biased against them. Aha! So we should potentially be keeping an eye out for people who match the requirements to become a shield maiden. Because then we can potentially make them shield maidens, which will then allow us to have a larger collection of champions to work from. Crimes by characters you cannot imprison and who aren't your liege may be settled via single combat. Okay. The Craven trait drains monthly prestige. Traits such as weak and delicate are looked down upon. It also gives us increased number of knights and increased accolade glory gain. We can't do any accolades right now, can we? No, we have to be a higher level. I think you might have to have a royal court to do accolades. Might be wrong. And then Northman stories. Rulers may raise runestones to commemorate certain major life events, earning prestige. The poet trait has additional bonuses. The poet trait is more common. Guardians of this culture are more effective. Oh, guardian as in educating a child. I was like, what's the guardian of the culture? No, it's actually very straightforward. It's just if you have a guardian who happens to be Norse, they will be more effective. Okay, so we should be looking for guardians who are our culture as well. That's important to know and internalize. Characters tell each other stories, increasing skills. It also increases legend spread gain now, which is kind of cool. Scheme secrecy is down, meaning that if you're going to go and scheme, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to keep it a secret. Okay, it's good stuff to know. It's good stuff to think about where we want to go in the future. We definitely want to be thinking about merging with other cultures. We definitely want to be thinking about maybe getting some trade ports. We definitely want to be thinking about getting some shield maidens. I forget what the restrictions are for shield maidens. Let me go and find somebody in our court and see whether we can turn them into a shield maiden. Like you. Probably not, but let's see. So if I wanted to make you a shield maiden, I cannot. It's not an option. Yeah, I think they have to be related to you or something for you to make them a shield maiden. Maybe incorrect. Like, yes. Okay, so there we go. So they need to have 12 prowess. And they need to not be a child. A shield maiden can serve as a commander or champion or commander, and might even save you from a murder scheme. Only close family members can be offered to become a shield maiden. Okay, so we should try and increase the prowess of our daughters in order to potentially allow them to become shield maidens. Okay, that's a good thing to remember. Awesome. Right, I think it's time for us to zoom in now that we've done that, and maybe unpause a little bit, let our troops reinforce from last time, and potentially also get these marriages done. So that's first marriage, that's second marriage. Just wait a little bit here. Okay, so I could potentially put some of these people in. So he could be our steward. He is better than our son. He could also be our spy master if we wanted him to be, because he is also better than our spy master. I'm not sure. I feel like having our son in a role is good for him. So let's maybe put you in as our spy master. You don't like us as much as this person, but you will like us when we put you on the council. Yeah, let's do that. That at least gives us a good spy master. It makes sure we have no schemes. We probably shouldn't, but that's fine. Oh, we're about to get our claim in 32 days. That's very good news. Okay, awesome. Let's have a look at who's in our court now. So these are just the unmarried people in our court. So, you're still unmarried? You don't do anything in our court and you're... Oh, because you're the spy master. I was going to say. You don't do anything currently. What are we going to do with you? Do we need you in our court anymore? Or could we marry you off? We could potentially marry you off if there isn't a very good person with prowess who you can drag into the court for us. So the best is Solvi. I don't think Solvi is good enough. I mean, he does have... Actually, Solvi has incredible diplomacy. You know, let's drag Solvi into our court. Let's do it. Matrilineally. Yeah, okay, he's happy with that. Right. Cool. Right, so now we have Solvi in our court and we can get rid of Ulfr. So we're going to put in Solvi instead of Ulfr. Right, let's see how our champion situation looks now. So, champion situation. I just want to see who we have. So we have these guys at the top here. And then, if we go down, we have Sven, our guest. Can I just ask you to leave? No, it will actually cause me even more prestige loss to ask him to leave. Okay, that's fine. So Ulfir is currently wounded, and he doesn't really do anything else for us. Solvi's our champion, Solvi's our chancellor, Gormir's our spy master, then there's our son and steward, then there's our champions. So I think Ulfir actually needs to go. Let's get rid of him. I'm going to find him a spouse. I'm going to look for matrilineal marriage, and I'm going to send him somewhere else. Doesn't really matter where he goes. He's out of our court. Right. Wait for that to go through. Nice. What's that? We're not endorsed by our Gaudi. That's fine. Okay. So now we have these guys. All of them are champions, or they have a job in our court. Or both. Okay. Let's start getting these guys married. So what am I looking for? Here, I'm looking for inheritable traits. That's something that's going to become very important for us. So, inheritable traits, and then maybe some of all skills? So Asa is just straight up the best person available. Best sum of all skills, and she is pretty. Okay, let's go with Asa. Now, obviously, sum of all skills is like the adding up of all of these. So in theory, what we could do is we could also look for individual skills that are pretty good. But let's go with Asa for this first marriage. I think that's fine. Actually, I have an idea for the second one. So let's go in here. Volki, I'm looking for a shield maiden. Do you think that there are any shield maidens? No. No. There are none at all that would join our court. Okay. That's fine. See, in theory, what I could do is do this and say, oh, this person's sum of all skills isn't the highest, right? Actually, it just happens to be the highest. But they have really good stewardship, so we'll drag them in. Not that stewardship actually matters at all. Really, the only one that matters for us is intrigue, as that's the only role that they can currently fill in our court. So let's maybe go with Ulfhilder. Okay. That's fine. Another quick person in our court. Gonna go with Ulfkel. 0 people would marry him. Like, at all. Oh, okay. Let's open it up to everybody. Stats aren't looking good. Maybe he just stays unmarried. I mean, his stats are terrible. He's good for now, but yeah, maybe he stays unmarried. Arnie? Arnie seems large, right? His character model is large. Interesting. Nobody wants to marry Arnie. Okay, moving on from Arnie. Move on to Horthrer. Let's see if anybody would marry him. Nobody's gonna marry him. Okay. That's right. And find spouse. Yeah, nobody wants to marry him who has a trait. Okay, cool. We'll leave it like that. Let's try and pass only good genes on. Let's see how that goes. Hey, you fabricated me a claim on Helsingland. Do we still want it? Yes. See it done. Right. Oh, we should wait for these marriages to go through. So that should leave us with 3. Yeah, none of them could find people to marry. That's fine. Okay. So we could now declare war here. Although, wait a second. We could declare wars? Why can I declare war on you? I could have just done a conquer county. Oh, dear. Oh, increases your legitimacy level to do these. So that's up by 100. Let's just have a look at one that's... let's have a look at this war. I do not have a cast... Oh, there we go. So I don't have a Casus Belli on this guy. I guess I can conquer outside the realm for free. But inside the realm I need to, like, have a reason. Like, I don't have a reason to declare war here. Oh, okay. Cool. So it wasn't worthless. So actually, I gain less legitimacy for one of these wars. That's interesting. You would think that you would gain more legitimacy if it's a war that you've got a claim for. But okay. That's fine. Raises our legitimacy level to recognized, which will give us benefits, and then it gets us some fame. So what does recognized do for us? So level 1 is short range duration minus 10%. This one will reduce Casus Belli cost and slightly increase marriage acceptance. Okay. Well, I think we want the land. The only negative about taking the land right now is that our heir currently would not get it. The reason our heir wouldn't get the land is it would go to Heisinger because of partition. But I think we're okay with that. What's this thing? Oh, that's the insecure tribal adult thing. Okay. I think we want to declare war. Yeah. Even though it won't pass to the next generation, we might be able to get some stuff out of it for this generation. We'll see how things go from there. I'm happy to just do this. I don't even think we need to call our ally. I think we're actually, like, set. I think we're good to go. 800 troops. We're gonna walk over there? Okay. That works. 2. How much does it cost us to get there? Only costs us 2. But then we get aquatic landing. Let's walk there. Let's see if they go onto the water. Oh, we did that. Never mind. I was going to say we did that at the right time, but this, because I was thinking we're on the 3rd level of Crown Authority, which usually stops you from declaring wars against other vassals. But doesn't in this case. Okay, that's fine. Okay. We tribal rulers with non-tribal lieges may settle. But our liege is our liege tribal or non-tribal? He's tribal, yeah, so we can't settle. Not that I think we have the resources for it anyway, and we don't want to do it because we want to use prestige to pay for all of our men-at-arms. Ooh, our liege has declared war on Varmaland. For what? The chiefdom of Varmaland. So for this bit. Okay, cool. It's nice to see he's expanding. It just says we're going to win here, so I'm pretty much happy just attacking. We have double their troops. We have better troops. Yeah, that wasn't close. We captured some enemy combatants. Any of them any good? Not really. Okay. We'll keep them around in case we do a blot or something. Or in case they want to offer us money for them. And now we'll just siege. This is nice and simple. They are going to charge into us because that's what the AI does nowadays. Hey, we captured some more people. You're also not good. You're okay, but not good enough. Yeah, none of these people are good enough to, to be recruited. So, we'll think about using them for a blot. Heisinger has come of age. I'm proud to see my son no longer as a child, but as an adult. As an active and enthusiastic child, it is no surprise that Heisinger has done well in his studies of war and combat. It is impressive to see such skill in someone so young. He displays a level of insight that's rare even among veteran commanders. So he's a brilliant strategist. Fantastic. Look at that. He's got great martial. He's got great prowess. He's going to be one of our champions. That is great to see. Okay. Let's enforce our demands here. And that moves our level of legitimacy up one tier. Awesome. We now hold the next bit of land, which gives us almost nothing. due to control being 0. I see. Well, why don't we put our... Go to the right one. Go to the right one here. Let's put our marshal on... Oh, I need to wait a second. There we go. Put our marshal on increasing control in the county task. It's going to take him 6 years to do it. Oh well, if it takes him 6 years to do it, it takes him 6 years to do it. We still need control to go up. It's just kind of the way of things. Oh yeah, by the way, this is a new change. They have split control growth and control decline. They used to be one singular value. So there was one value that was like, this is your control growth value. They've split them up. I don't know what the implications of that are. I guess maybe it means percentages are calculated differently. Because if you have a percentage increase to control growth, it will apply to the growth. But previously, if your flat value for the decline was too high, maybe it meant that the percentage wasn't doing anything. Because say you had a negative amount of control growth and you had a percentage increase, that probably meant that you got 0 from that, because a percentage of a negative or 0 is pretty much 0, or is 0, for all intents and purposes. But if you split them up, it's a percentage increase to the growth value, which means that that will actually have some value. It's a minor change. I just thought I'd mention it because I remembered seeing it in the patch notes. Honestly, I think it will affect us not one bit. I think it will do nothing for us. Someone's willing to pay for you, it says. Alright, he's willing to pay for him. Interestingly, not here. Right, we can't click it here, but we can in this menu. Weird. Okay. Oh yeah, that is a nice benefit. We can station our men-at-arms in this new holding, which will, at the very least, allow us to get some benefit. Like, we get a little extra damage and a little extra toughness. It's not incredible, but, you know, it's extra. Stuff we weren't already getting. Oh, and it has a trade port already. Oh, which increases the station men-at-arms toughness. Wait a second, would it be better to actually switch these two around? So we're getting 4 or 5? 2, 5. So, no, this one is better. Do I already have a trade port built here? No. Okay. It just happens to be giving more. Okay. Cool. And that's a child benefiting from good tutelage. That's good to see. What's she want to do? Just want to do a learning education. I mean, that's okay. Oh, I should have been looking for people of learning as well. I forgot they can fill our religious role on the council. Okay, that's cool. Oh, betrothed can marry. Yes. I don't really want to hold a grand wedding. Yeah, let's drag her into our court. We don't really need her in our court, but it's for where their children are going to end up. Cool. Grand tournament, not going to do that. I can raise a runestone. Costs us 50, but gets us 250 piety and 350 prestige. And then we can do ancestral, conquest, or clout. Oh, conquest will allow us to get the control up quicker. Yeah, let's carve one. Every runestone tells a message of some significant event in the life of the commissioner. From the smallest peasant to a chieftain like myself, the stone records all. What shall this monument speak of? I vanquish foe. I gain stress because I'm forgiving. But I will get a bunch of control growth, which will be nice. Rocks through the ages location. Now I've decided what to put on my runestone. The question remains where to put it. I am going to put it in Helsingland because I want the Conquest runestone there for control growth. Wonderful. Right, so this is now going up by a little bit more. And it's only going to take 4 years. Wonderful. Okay, cool. Hey, our level of fame went up. That is what benefit? I think that gives us a knight. Okay, so we now have 1 extra space for a knight. We'll see in a second. Yes, so we now have 7 out of 7 champions. Which is cool, because our son just came of age, and is therefore now a champion for us. So that kind of worked out anyway. Okay, you like to see it. We'll just wait a second or two for our troops to reinforce. Was construction slowed down? Oh, it is what it says. Construction is slowed down. Well, that's not ideal, obviously. But there you go. Our liege won their war, so... Oh! So Sweden now exists. You won the war and immediately were like, I'm creating Sweden. Yes. Yes, that is what happened. Okay then. That's intriguing. The reason that's intriguing for us is that gives us potential to make a duchy. Because previously we couldn't make a duchy because our liege was a duke, but now our liege is a king, we can, which means if we can get there, Confederate partition can't cause us issues. Because Confederate partition will only split our land if, well, I mean, it could split our land into 2 separate duchies if we held enough land for 2, but it'll only split our land on the top level title otherwise. So, we might be okay. What are the de jure places? So we have Upland, which obviously we're never going to get, because Upland is currently controlled by our liege. But we could maybe get Norland up here. How much do I need for Norland? Duchy of Norland. Oh, it gives legitimacy when you create these. That's cool. Legitimacy level discount is 0 on that. That's just fine. All you need to do is control 2. 2 out of 3. So if I got medal pad, I could make it. Or if I got Angerman land, I could make it. Now, wait a second. This one only has 600 troops. And we have the ability to do a conquest war. Yeah. Alright. Let's do it. I was trying to think of a reason not to. But honestly, I couldn't come up with one. Let's go. We can call in our ally, but again, there's no reason to. Like, we're set. We have more troops and our troops are better. I haven't checked our troops are better. I just trust that they are. Now, you might think that you're leading. I'm leading the army. You know, come on now. Right, attack in. Oh, new martial perk. Let's take that right now. Ooh, absolute control or chivalric dominance. I'm going to take absolute control here. Which now means in this one, we now have absolute control, which now gives us increased benefits to the levies and taxes, which is nice. It means that we're a little bit better off than we were. Alright, attack. Cool. We're better. And we win. Cool. And now we siege. We wait for them to come back, and they're going to die on us again. Our wife is pregnant. That is unexpected news. Very unexpected news. At 41, but okay. Well, let's see what we get. We might get another son. Grey days. As a straight arrow whizzes past my head in the yard, I feel nothing. No fear, no anger, no panic. This has been on par for the course recently. I feel as if I exist behind a curtain, keeping me from feelings in the world. I am so tired. I think we're melancholic, which is not great, but is not the worst thing in the world to happen to us. I think that's I think that's one of the events that leads to melancholy, which is fine. They have no army left. They lost their entire army. Yeah, there we go. What's the meaning of it all? Why do we go through all these motions day after day after day? Motivation and energy escape me as my life sinks into grey dullness. I feel like I should be panicking, but even that is beyond me now. It is too much. I'm melancholic, so I lose a bunch of stats, lose fertility, and get a moderate health penalty. I said it wasn't too bad. I suppose it is pretty bad, especially given that we're 41 and we just got a medium health penalty, which won't go away and can't be, it can't be sanded off by having a court physician. But on the other hand, we are fine. We have an heir. We have 2 heirs, and we're about to take this land, and potentially we can change our succession law. Hey, my daughter-in-law Dloth has given birth to a son. So this is Heisinger, my son. This is my second son's child, Solfi. Okay. He has nothing special about him, but he has a son. Awesome. Good to see. And we now have Angerman land. We captured the liege as a prisoner. I'm going to take 50 gold for him to start with, because there's no reason not to take his money to let him go free. I mean, I suppose he could come back later and he could try and take it back with his claim, but like, let's assume that's not going to happen. And I still have 100% war score because I sieged his entire province. So, let's enforce demands. That gets us legitimacy, fame. Seems good. Could we demand hostages from you? We could, but you'd say no and we don't want them. Alright, well, I mean, that's a pretty good reason not to do that. Let's enforce demands. To the abhorrent Solvi, may wisdom ever elude you. Oh, I didn't realize they named him after us. Oh, that is cool. Anyway, you're a much greater foe than I imagined. In order to put an end to this bloodshed, I will comply with your demands. Wonderful. Disband there. We can now petition our liege for something. Oh, okay. We now station our men-at-arms over here, so we now have 3 holdings to station them at, which is great. What's this? Grand Tourney? No. What can we petition him for? I just want to see what our options are. Send bailiffs? Oh, to increase control. For a royal visit or to fortify borders. Okay. What does this do? I actually don't know what that does. Maybe it gives you a buff? I think sending bailiffs is interesting. We might do that at some point. But what I want to do is I want to create the Duchy of Norland. Done. We now hold the Jarldom of Norland. We are a mighty Jarl. Okay. And we can now change the succession law to Scandinavian elective when we get enough prestige. We can't do tanistry, right? No. Okay. So, we can change it to Scandinavian elective when we get there. I assume we can't change it on this one? Yeah, I was right. So it's on the actual holding itself. It also means, by the way, that this is de jure ours. He doesn't know it yet, but that is de jure ours. Because this is part of the Duchy of Norland. So, let me just see if that works. Oh, we have a daughter. Ingfrither. Ah, wonderful. Just letting it calculate a little bit. I really don't have a Casus Belli? I think I have a Casus Belli. I don't. Oh. I thought I should have a Duchy one. Maybe that's something that tech unlocks and you usually play... When it's usually irrelevant, you usually have the tech. Ah, there you go. Yeah, literally the tech is called Casus Belli. So, de jure county Casus Belli is exactly what I was talking about. it's part of our duchy, therefore we should have a claim on the county. But we don't, because we don't have that existing yet. Grant vassal. Oh, you'd like to give us Ragnar Olafsson as our vassal because he's de jure underneath us. Well, I mean, I suppose I could say yes. Yeah. Alright. So we now have... Let me wait a second. Yes. So we now have... if I do this... all of that land. This guy is my vassal now. I don't know what we're going to do with them. I don't know what our plans are. But we have a lot to worry about next time in terms of setting up our large amount of new land. So, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.